What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Impressive MC back with another video here. I know it's been a while. If you see on my page, I mainly did music, but now I'm kind of switching up the tone a little bit. I decided to go to school for information technology for cybersecurity. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a tutorial here on how to set up your own private server here. The website that I'm using is DigitalOcean. So this server that I'm using is $20 a month. I've had it for a month. So basically, reason why I'm making this video is because my whole server literally like exploded on me. Like I couldn't remote access to it. I couldn't even launch the console here and get into it. It was just black. I couldn't do anything. I put in the ticket. I waited like all day, no response, nothing. So I said, you know what, we're just gonna start back from the bottom. I didn't really have anything important on it anyways. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys how to start your server and also how to get a remote desktop to where you can remote into it from Windows. So what we're gonna do here is once you have your server loaded, I'm using Ubuntu for myself. So once you have it loaded, you just wanna load your console. We'll make it full screen. Now, there are videos where people have used PuTTY. You will need PuTTY to an extent, but while setting this up, you actually don't need it at this time. So I mean, you can just use the console for right now. So first thing you want to do is type in your password, you want to type in your login, which is root. They just emailed me my new password here for right now, so we're gonna paste that in there. If I remember correctly, I think I can control V it in there. Okay, yeah, so you can control V it in there. Perfect. So now it says you're required to change your password immediately. So a lot of people at this point get messed up because they put in a new password. So that's not what you want to do, because if you put in a new password, this is what happens. You're gonna put in your new password and then you're gonna get right back to the login. Then you're gonna be like, why am I at the login again? So just type in root, control V your password. Now you want to put in the current password. It's asking you for the current password. So that same password you controlled V, put it right back in there. And then now we're going to do a new password. So new password, I'm going to go ahead and make mine. Okay, now look, boom, we're in there. So the first thing you always want to do when you get in, you want to, and I'm gonna put this in the description here, these commands. Now a lot of these commands are gonna be used for how you set up your server. I'm sorry about the stuff at the bottom. I'm gonna probably dive into that, I'm not sure, but I think I'm gonna save that for another video, so I'll talk about that later. But right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add a user. So the command to do that, whoops, you wanna go type in add user and then type in your username that you want. So this is the name that I want. Now it's going to ask you for a new password. So you're going to type in your password that you want to use. Boom, update successfully. Now you can type in your name and add your information if you want to, but you don't have to, but just enter through that. And I'm going to clear. Now we're going to do usermod ag sudo and then your username that you just created. I believe, and I'm still new to this, guys, I believe what this is doing, we're adding like administrative control for our account. So that's what we're doing at this time. All right, so now what we're gonna do is the command uf app list. What this is gonna do is show what available applications we have, which is OpenSSH, which is what we want. We want OpenSSH for remote and to be able to access, you know, our server from any type of like different type of like application. Like you can use PuTTY, you could use MOBA Xterm. I believe there's different applications. Those are the two that I'm aware of. So moving forward on that, what we want to do is type in UFW, allow OpenSSH, so we can allow it. Now the rules are updated, so that's good. Now we want to do a UFW enable, and that's going to enable the firewall. So the firewall is active and enabled on system startup. Perfect, that's what we want. And then we're going to do a status, UFW status, so we can check the status and make sure everything's active. So it's active, OpenSSH is allowed anywhere. That's what we want. Now I'm going to show you two different types of like desktop versions, because the one that I discovered recently before I made this video, I actually like it, and I think I'm gonna actually use it and test it to see how well I like it. But I'm gonna show you like the other way. So the other way is, if you look in the description here, we're gonna do a sudo apt install tasksel. What this is gonna do, this is basically going to allow us to install any type, like a different type of desktop to our server. Let me see, we're gonna let this load here. And what's great about using like the actual server versus PuTTY, in my opinion, I feel like PuTTY kind of delays a little bit, but when you're actually doing this on your server, like it, and depending on how well your server is, it moves pretty fast. I'm glad you don't have to use PuTTY. I think you had to in the previous version of this Ubuntu. I think this one is 20.43 or something like that. When I first started this, it was like at 18, and that was just a month. All right, so now that's done. So now what you want to do is sudo tasksel. Can't spell. All right, now once you're on this page, this is where you're gonna install the desktop. So as you can see, you got Ubuntu desktop, and it has like, there was one I saw that had different ones. I think I would have to install what I'm gonna do last, but that's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do Ubuntu desktop. So we're gonna go ahead, select that, hit space, hit OK. That's gonna install. So we're gonna let this install, and it's gonna take a little minute. Oh wow, this actually has more than that last time before I did this video. That's crazy. But we're gonna let this do its thing, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, so I do apologize. While I was trying to install this didn't work. As you can see, it said it failed. So what you have to do after we did this command here for the sudo apt tasksel, actually let me fix this. So I'm gonna save this for my reference, just for me. But you guys, I'm gonna put in the description as well. So you wanna make sure after you do sudo apt install tasksel, do an app update and an upgrade Y. And then after you do that, it may take a minute. Then you do sudo tasksel. So now we're gonna do sudo tasksel. If I can spell correctly. Because I had it spelled wrong there. Now, as you can see, the first time when we did it, you saw that we didn't have that much in the menu, right? Now we have everything in the menu because we did an apt update and we did an apt upgrade /y to get everything updated. So now that we got all of that updated, now we shouldn't have an issue. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select Ubuntu desktop, hit OK, and it failed again. So I think here, if it fails on the server, what you're gonna have to do, you can close the server, and this is when PuTTY is gonna come in handy. So now you're gonna wanna open PuTTY. So if you have an issue with it, get PuTTY. I'll put PuTTY in the description. And again guys, this is something that I haven't done in a while, like a month ago, so I'm kind of just doing this as I go. But I'll try to help you out as best as I can here and try to not make this video as long. So moving forward, what you wanna do is, I'm gonna load this so you can see. So this is my IP address. When you're on Droplet, if you go to your actual home page here, you can go here. This is the IP address that I copied, and I just pasted it here. Then I clicked on SSH, and I made sure that this is checked and the two at the bottom are checked, and then I opened authentication. Now with authentication, what you want to do is when you have PuTTY, if you don't have this PuTTY gen right here, what you want to do is click open, right click open file location, and basically just make like a duplicate of this and put it anywhere on your desktop, or you can put it wherever you want to put it. Then after that, you just browse, or here, I'll open this. Then after you do that, you click generate, and here it says you have to move your mouse randomly to get the key generated. So just move it randomly. Now here's your key. You can put it in your droplet, but I don't believe you have to, because this is going to automatically be put into PuTTY. So what you want to do is save your private key, hit yes, and then like I said, I already have my private key set and everything set, so it's right there, so I don't need it. So once you have that all set up there, then you want to go, there was one more place, where did it go? To data. So in data, you want to do the auto login and username as root. And then once you have that, then you just want to save it. So you can type right here how you want your name to be for your session, so it's there all the time and you just click it. So I'm gonna double click it. Now I'm gonna do my password. Boom, now we're in, and we're gonna do the sudo tasksel. Now we're gonna go back down, and I'm sorry guys, I'm taking you through this, but I'm showing you as well the mistakes that can happen as well, so you don't have to wonder, what to do. All right, perfect. So now that is installed. So again, here, the next step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do sudo apt install xrdp. All right, so now this is already installed. No, it's not installed, so now you wanna hit yes for that. It's gonna do its thing. I love how these servers move pretty quick, so it's not something that takes long. All right, so that's doing its thing there, it's done. Now what you wanna do is sudo system for system, oops, and I can't spell again, systemctl enable xrdp, so we can have that enabled. Now what you wanna do is sudo systemctl, oh my goodness, I can't spell, systemctl start xrdp. Now we got that started, so now we want to do a sudo ufw status, and again we can see that it's still active. Now what we want to do is sudo ufw allow 3389, which is going to be the port TCP. Now the rule is added. Now we want to do a sudo reload, or I'm sorry, sudo ufw reload. Firewall is reloaded. Now we want to do a sudo apt install xfce4. Let that do its thing. You're gonna hit yes. And like I said, these servers move pretty quick, so just let it do its own thing. Now at this part, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to hit light dm and then hit enter. Next one here, I'm gonna copy and paste this one. So in this command right here where I have my name, this is where you want to put your username, so don't put mine, you want to put something different. So here what we're going to want to do is copy and paste this over here. And if you're using putty, what you want to do, you can't use Control V or like Shift Control V, you have to right click on your mouse to paste it. Hit enter, boom, now we're there. So now what we want to do here is we can see if it works. I don't know if I have to actually reboot the system. I might have to, but we're gonna test it here. Now with your digital droplet, the IP address that you want to use for the Windows remote is this one right here. So you just go to your droplet and it's gonna be this IP address. I already have mine there. You're gonna hit connect, boom, it's already done. So now hit yes. On this screen, what you're gonna want to do is type in your username that we created, type in your password, and this is going to be the first GUI that I'm going to show you guys here. So the first one here, this is how it looks. You get this background, which I like it. It's actually pretty dope, but I found this other one that I actually like as well. So the computer needs to restart to finish installing updates. We'll restart later. It's not that important right now. About what I had to do. So I'm gonna copy these commands as well if you want this. So actually this came out differently. It's odd because when I first did this, it didn't look like this. Like this background, the icon was different. It was a little different, and I was actually running smooth. So I kind of regret restarting everything because I was just messing with it. It was kind of running slow, but then again, it's probably because I had OBS open this whole time, but I'm gonna play around with it. But this did work. What I had to do was I had to actually create a new user. So I added a new user and all the commands worked. For some reason, the mulatto hacker one that I did by itself would not take this command. It needs this command to be able to run correctly, and then you have to do this command and then restart the services. So once you do that, you get this. So now basically when I do my remote servers, connect. So now I remade, and let me move this microphone, hold on. Got it my way because I actually put it away, but I came back so I could show y'all. So now, like the first time I did mulatto hacker, it's gonna do the first background that I had. Now when I do this, add the numbers at the end for my new username I just created, and then my password. Now it's gonna take me to the other GUI that I have. So now basically I'm messing with two different GUIs, which is pretty dope, and I didn't even know that was even possible to do, so I just actually learned something today. So yeah, I got the terminal up here. And again, as you can see, it's moving really slow, so I don't know if this has something to do with if I installed something wrong, but eventually as I start, you know, putting in commands and I'm installing things, it might fix this. And again, I don't know what I missed. There's something that I missed and I don't know what it was. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here. Hopefully me turning this off will probably speed up this computer. So I can actually, you know, mess with this and get my desktop the way that I had it on my server. But that's basically how you set up your server and get it started. I'll make another video on the one that I like, and so you guys can actually see it. And once I figure out how to do it, I'll put those commands in that video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys saw the mistakes that I made. You see that this can be tedious sometimes, so don't get discouraged. Always use Google if you have any questions. And definitely, you know, if you want to post down below and if you have any questions, you know, I'll do my best to help you. So the next video I'm gonna make, I'm gonna show you guys that GUI that I like, and then I'm gonna also show you how you can put Kali Linux tools inside of Ubuntu. So you're basically running Kali Linux and Ubuntu in one on your own server, which is gonna be dope. You get to use all the same tools. That's like, I think it comes with majority of the tools in Kali Linux, if I'm not mistaken, but that's gonna be for another time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm out.